1622. Before I get started, I want to send a shout out to my buddy Tony. He had his baby today. His wife had, or his fiance had her baby today. Cutest little thing you can imagine. He's a Marine Corps brother of mine. Love him to death. This is the same one that's from California. The daughter just went into the Army. He's a very proud dad. Goes to show you that, life can give you surprises at every turn that are great and really nice surprises. This is also, like I tell everybody, awareness month. So what I'm trying to do is pull myself out and talk a little bit about myself, which I do anyway, but things that are go on, so people know that they're not alone on things that are going on. Now, do I have issues or problems like that? No, not like that, but things that I can tell you that we do, that you make yourself a better person. And one of the people in my life that's always made me a better person was my father. And the reason why I say that is he did something that I've never seen anybody else do. There may be a few, but they may be a little older. Well, everybody knows that my mom died on September 7th, 1990. Okay? And, I grew up with that. Well, when my daughter was born, I was not in the zone, so I quit drinking, I basically gave up the businesses that I ran and everything else so that I could fight and win and have another day. It's just like a money pit I was doing. Uh, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I did have my banker kill himself, so that was suicide. It was suicide because he didn't know what to do. I don't know the story. I just know that it left hundreds of us in a really bad situation. So when my daughter was born, I decided to get away from that situation because it seemed like I was just wasting money. I was just throwing money away on things that, I wasn't ready for. I mean, the business was very successful. So because of somebody killing himself, it's like hundreds of people in a really bad situation. So if you think you don't matter, if you think that your life is, it does, and it affects people, whether it's knowingly or unknowingly. Um, and it's funny because I can never figure out. My dad was never a drinker, never has been, never a smoker, never done a drug in his life. And I decided that in order to raise my daughter, I was going to be like my dad. And so I quit drinking and stuff like that. There was no pulling in it. And I wanted to make sure to give my daughter a good life. And the thing about it is, my dad has never dated since my mom died. And he's and later on became friends with, later on they became really good friends, and they've been my rocks in a lot of different things, and I love them to death, and they know who they are. And there's also my Marine Corps brothers, Marines I didn't serve with, but we're in, Army. There's a lot of my Army friends, and I love them to death. So whenever something comes about where somebody's doing something shady or fishy or not right, I speak up because somebody needs to speak up for the little guys. Somebody needs to speak up for those that are being treated like crap. When I say that police and sheriff are heroes, I really mean it. Now, I have known sheriffs who cheat on their wives, do all these crazy things like that, but they're the 1% in every group. Every group's got that 1%. 9 out of 10 people are great. You're always going to get that one that is going to ruin it for everybody else. And I don't blame the majority of everybody else for it. But people they want to judge me because I chose not to date. I chose to, study. I chose to become good at my business. I chose to help people. I chose to get out of my circle and actually get up and do something. I chose to go back to the farm. I chose to help out with family and friends. I chose to work out a lot more. I chose to help truckers and military and families and do wills and the things you see me doing now. I got really good at because I chose to take my pain, frustration, and stuff out on areas that are going to be beneficial to everybody around me. Now, that does not make me a perfect human or a great person. In fact, I don't feel I ever am, and I don't think I am. But on the other hand, when people judge you because they don't know you, those are the people you need to get away from. When you start hearing people talk about others, remember this. That means they're talking about you too when you're not around. So you need to go where you're celebrated, not Let's see here. Hold on real quick. We'll see if it's scam. Hello? Hello? So, yeah, that was a scam call. So, I do scam calls, but as you can see, they just called me. But it's funny because I'll dial the number back. And it won't work, I bet you.
The number you have reached.
Anyway, this is not a scam call. This is about suicide awareness and everything else. And by the way, I had a couple of those, and they say some of the most horrid things. And just makes you think for a minute. So instead, say a prayer in your head. If you get mad, say a prayer in your head. Start thinking positive thoughts. Do something to channel the negative energy and put it out there. This is not a tree thumping, rock loving thing. This is one of those things where if you find yourself getting mad, go run. If you're finding yourself getting frustrated, start doing push-ups. If you start seeing yourself getting depressed, call a friend. When you feel like you don't matter anymore, when you think that life, then what you need to do is you need to think back of all the good things. And you got to think about the great things you're going to do. And then you need to call a friend, a family member, somebody. And eventually you'll learn who your real friends are and who your real family is. I've got 99% of my family is awesome. But like everybody else, we do have that 1%. 99% of the Marine Corps is awesome, but there is that 1%. 98% of the Army is great, but you got the 2%. Army's bigger than the Marine Corps. And so on and so forth. People need to know they matter. Shake a police officer's hand. Shake a sheriff's hand. Tell them thank you. A firefighter, go up to them. People only see them when there's a fire, but did you know they're over at the fire stations every day, making sure that the fire trucks are maintained, making sure they're ready to go at a moment's notice. They're always training, making sure for that one time. It's like anything else. They're 5 minutes of fire, when they get over there, it's the only time, but you got to be ready for those 5 minutes. So you got to train 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's what's important. Are the people that are willing to do what it takes when we're at our worst, they have to be at their best. And the same goes with our friends. So some of our friends, when we're at our worst, they're going to be at their best for us. We just need to learn to reach out. And I know that people with depression don't want to reach out, but we have to sometimes. There's a lot of men and women in the military with the 22, which I explained to KHQA, and there's a lot of other things that go on. But know this, be great. And if you start looking at people and you start judging them, remember there is a backstory. They've got something going on that you don't know about, so you should probably not judge them. It's like I always say, he without sin, let cast the first stone. In other words, if you don't think you got any sin whatsoever, cast a stone. And remember, for every sin or for every bad thing you did, you're going to get a rock right back at you. See, people forget that second part. So if you throw it and you got it, remember this. You may be telling yourself you're a good person, or you may be telling yourself that you were right. But look what you're doing to people. Look at how you made people feel if you put them down. If you did not give them positive reinforcement. If you just decided to bully them and never said one positive thing to them whatsoever, then you're wrong. Let's just say it, you're wrong. You need to give them some positive reinforcement. You need to not make fun of them for this discrepancies, for their ailments. You're only as good as the slowest person you have on your team. And people forget that. Leaders lead from the front, but guess what? We have to go all the way back to the back to make sure everybody's okay, and then go back to the front. You matter. You're important. Every day, remember that. I'm Jeffrey Jansen. I want you guys to understand that. Tell your kids you love them. Tell them they mean the world to you. Protect them every day. I'm Jeffrey Jansen. I hope you all have a great day. Bye, everybody.